you're going to find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races. Only
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Villani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
But I would say it's not the best decision I've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately, isn't it? What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the round pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped you all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, Dan Michael's a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Barani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed more and thrown up ahead. He's got out of the line. Is now Pike going to have a go? Werrell, don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly, Miller's just such a he's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Bill Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's all about the entertainment.
So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
coming down.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it. Medeiros is going to get it.
They haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not a second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it! Big Barry!
Welcome along, of course. Welcome back for some more Radical Sim Racing. This is the SR10 division of the European Championship, and the European Championship is definitely going to heat up today because this is the penultimate round, and some of the drivers will be making their way through to the finals, and some of the drivers will be driving their absolute wheels off to secure themselves a place into the final. I am Dean Biggles. Joining me is Adam Hedgecock in the casting booth here at the mountain backyard of Australia. Just a few hours west of Sydney. I should know that one. Yes, Adam, how are you?
How did you struggle with that one, sir? And all good, thank you, buddy. All good. Really looking forward to this one. The mountain is a challenge no matter what you're driving, and tonight should prove no different for these guys.
Real quickly, while they've started their lone qualifying session at the moment, we'll go over those championship standings, and you can just verify that, let everybody know who's through and who's not currently at the moment, and this currently is the Pro division.
I have been reliably informed that that the yellows are already through and the greens are in the pool to go through. So I'm colourblind, so I can't actually see that. But what it does mean is that we've got Jürgen Frank out in front, leading Erin Baba by 6 points there. Tim Bertie a little bit back from them. Ridolf Nagao in P4 and Kika Ming in P6. Up to Nagao have already qualified. Ming is the first of your green drivers. I told you I was colourblind. John McCutcheon, Jack Ashton, Luke Maxwell and Mike Bousson are in the green positions right now, and they round out your top 9. Ketil Larsen, Iron Bremer, Maximilian Scheider, Kane Halliburton, Christopher Lip and Paul Crabb. They are your 15 pros.
This must have gone by, if you actually look at it, you have Mike, Larsen and Bremer all on 162 points. So, and yet that's going to be a very, very close one between those drivers. I presume that they've been rating on something else, like, highest position that they finished the season with or something like that, as to who has the upper advantage in this case, as you mentioned there. Well, it's Mike. So we'll see how that one pans out. So those drivers, we'll see if they are in the session. We'll get those list up in a second, but we'll then quickly go over the AM class.
We will. There are more yellows than greens this time, although they are all blue. Bjorkland, Haig, Gonzaga are your top 3, with David Walters and Guy Robertson rounding out your top 5. And then Menno de Graaf in P6. Those drivers have all qualified. Then we have David Rolliston, Gary Truby and Stefan Mellis. They are in the current green positions. Glenn Christensen is 10th place. Then we have Chris Max Davies, Craig Gregory, Daniel Cascado, Bastian Linlau and Damien Gee. They are your top 15 drivers.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, we are in a qualifying session at the Bathurst, at the mountain. You have to conquer it, or the mountain will conquer you. We'll go on board with a driver currently at the moment, and Mr. Adam, you can give us how it feels. You can see his sensation of speed here as he's making his way just down the mountain to Denver right now there, Adam.
He is indeed fast and flowing, all about momentum going up, and in these cars it's like being in a little go-kart driving through a tunnel, isn't it? You see, you come down, you just ease the car down, slowing it down gradually, dropping the gears as you go into the differ, and then hard onto the power as hard as you possibly can without lighting up the rear. Slap the anchors on as soon as you see Falcon, hug the inside like your favourite grandma, and then get on the power as soon as you possibly can for the long back straight. A favourite of mine for end of race shenanigans. There's an awesome jump, I'm sure you've all seen it. As we go over the crest of the hill here, you can start seeing your braking point way off in the distance. Little coax to the right there, and then slam the anchors on. Really hard braking, probably one of the hardest braking points through the chase. Ride the curb a little on the outside. Final, most crucial part of the lap, in my opinion. get the car slowed down. It's so easy to go wide. It's a little bit off camber. Get on that grass and your whole lap is ruined. Across the line, we are with Kika Ming, who goes fastest, yes, by 3.5 tenths. What a great lap from Ming. I wonder if this could be another one of his gems.
Could be, absolutely. Some of the drivers are pulling in, so there it is. Ming from Frank, from Baba, the Belgian driver there. So it's going to be interesting. We'll try to crunch some numbers. I guess maybe Adam can be crunching some numbers as we get further and further into the race itself, so that we can kind of start working out which drivers will be looking to get their way into the playoffs. Those ones that are obviously on the bubble that we mentioned before. You have to be on the absolute limit here at the mountain, because the mountain takes no prisoners, my friend. Qualifying session is definitely going to be a key here. You don't want to get caught at the back of the pack having to navigate your way through the traffic, especially if there is a little bit of an accident up the mountain, through the mountain, as you know. Easy to do. It turns into a car park, and unfortunately the cars don't have any wings to fly over it, so sometimes you can't even get around it.
This is very, very true. There was an interesting bit of news from the virtual paddock pre-race that I should bring to your attention. The usual fueling for these cars, there was a little bit of a question whether they could make it to the end of the race or not. Some of the long running that the drivers were doing were finding that they were down to mere fumes in their car come the end. So the organisers decided that adding a little bit more just to make sure they can get to the end of the race was the right thing to do. So we're running slightly heavier cars than normal. I think it was an addition of 5 litres, so not a massive amount, but just enough so that they don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to get to the end.
That'll be good. This pit stop. Well, pit stop's not a crazy amount of time around here, as you can see. We're watching De Graaf making their way down the Conrad Straight, which used to be... They call it the Skyline now? No, they don't call it Skyline, that's the other one. The Conrad Straight used to be actually the highest speed recorded for many, many years was the Nissan Skyline R32 that I used to own, the Godzilla. I used to race it around here. It dominated a couple of years actually in the Australian Supercar Series until they said, V8s only. No more V6s. So then, obviously, that's not going to work. And, well, De Graaf has make his way around Hell's Corner. He's going to go up in the Skyline. Who else are we looking for on a flyer? Some of the drivers are still yet to set times. In fact, no, every driver has set a time. And you can see there's a bit of a spread there. So De Graaf, you could see there actually was a little bit of wall riding. So he knows he can definitely find some more time. Needs to find some more time right now.
I did notice in the pre-qualifying practice, the Sim RC guys in particular were exploring all of the extremities of the track. Often I would see them with scrapes and sparks flying as they were clipping walls. So they're really trying to maximise their attack on this track. And like you said, if you don't attack it, if you're not confident here, it will bite back, and it will bite back hard. You can't be afraid of this circuit. As we go on board with Bjorklund, as you're literally flicking between walls, mere inches from them. You can even see the tyre marks on the outside there. I'm certainly one of the drivers who has definitely skimmed that wall. Look how close he gets to that left-hand side. Wonderful, wonderful, isn't it? Hug this inside and then throw it into the inside. Funny thing about that corner, I raced here in a Pro Mazda back in the day, 2017 I think it was, and got an off track on the inside.
Oh.
I was that close to the wall, I got an off track on the inside.
Now that is interesting.
Mm.
Just like that, our sole qualifying is done. So here is the grid.
Here we go then. Kika Ming with a fabulous effort there. P1 pole position for Kika Ming. He's joined on the front row by Jürgen Frank. Then we have Erin Babren, Luke Maxwell on row 2. Row 3 is Kettle Larsen and Kim Andre Bjorklund, your leading AM of the evening. Then we have Scheider, Walters, Haig, Buson, Gonzaga and Bremer rounding out your top 12. We then have Gregory Robertson, Stefan Mellis and Menno de Graaf rounding out your 16-strong field. I tell you what, Buson is not in a particularly good position in his championship, fighting for that last green spot that we was mentioning earlier. So yeah, he's going to be wanting to make some positions up early.
They are gridding currently at the moment. We only have a couple of cars on the grid, as you can see, so better wheel those cars out and get the cars to jump in. We should go back to the old school days, mate, when they used to actually have the cars there. They had to run out, didn't they, and jump into the cars and start them up. Do you imagine the safety? That's back before they had seatbelts, of course. Didn't need to worry too much about that.
They have to put their cigarette out before they run over.
Yeah,
course,
true. With probably the gin or something like that in the hand, or the brandy or whatever. James Hunt, remember, of course, he was a bit of a party animal once, didn't he? It was actually he used to throw up before races too, as well, with nerves. Anyway, over to you. Race start.
There we go. The lights are out and we are underway at Bathurst Mount Panorama. Everyone seems to have got away reasonably well. A little bit of wheel spin. Kika Ming holds it off of Jürgen Frank there. Baba did have a look on the inside. Buson has had a little bit of an issue, maybe getting forced out wide a touch, but as it stands, everyone's got away relatively well. Frank now having a look to the outside as they head down the straight over the brow of the hill. Watch the rear of the car there, does get light. Is Frank going to hold it onto the inside? No, he's not. Ming holds the position as they head up the down tube for the first time.
Absolutely fantastic. You get the overtake. That's classic overtaking jobs there, but wouldn't try to get anything through here as you could have climbed your way up and back down the hill, as you just saw before. How tight and twisty it is in here, and having two cars is almost impossible. I wouldn't say it's not completely impossible, but almost. You have to be one of the best precise drivers on the planet, and actually if somebody makes a mistake and goes out wide, you could try to sneak it. Watch it. It's all about, and if you listen to the Australian supercar drivers, and they do this track quite often, obviously, down in Australia, the series is all about the exit of Forest Elbow. All about that exit. If you get that one right, remember, look how much of the track you have all the way down that back straight to conquer at full speed, essentially, till you get into the chase. So if you don't get that right, you drop about 10 kilometers or so, even more of speed, and to regain that's quite a bit. So you can see they all kind of navigated their way down Forest Elbow right now, out of Forest Elbow at full speed, making their way down into the chase.
They are. Baba had a right old slide coming out of Forest Elbow. He got all crossed up, managed to get it back under control. But you're right, like this is your big overtaking opportunity, isn't it? Ducking out of the slipstream. You're not going to get a move done over the top of the hill, so this is your best chance. As we see Mellis, swings out wide, cuts off the nose of De Graaf there. Wow. Oh, and he's overcooked it going into the chase. How's he going to hold it on the grass? Yeah. Well done. It's so easy to spin up there. Well done for holding it, but that is a lap in the books. Kika Ming is your leader so far. Jürgen Frank, P2. Erin Baba holding on to P3, just ahead of Maxwell. Bjorklund is your lead as it stands.
So far, so good. They survived Hell's Corner. Somebody was telling me about the other day it was because there used to be a tree stump or something like that that used to cause an old tree or whatever. It used to cause a bit of a bump. But keep an eye on this overtaking possibility over, yes, from Schneider there, and he has got it on Larson. Classic once again, seeing overtakes where the overtakes should be done here in the Bathurst.
This is a passenger, isn't it?
The way to do it. Yeah, getting the exit out of the there it is right here, mate. Classic, follow the slipstream, and at this point you want it. He actually managed to get ahead there and tuck back onto the racing line, so not bad at all.
I do wonder if it was a kind of assisted a little bit there, a little bit of a lift off there, just to play it safe this early in the race. Maybe that, like we said about last week, might feel that it's a safer option. He is in that battle, of course, with Buson and Bremer. So it might be that it's play it safe, bag the points where it can. Ming! Issue for Ming. What has happened? Forest Elbow, there is smoke. There is damage to the back of that car. Has he spun it on the exit, maybe?
We'll find out right now.
There we go. There's a tree and...
Well, that's interesting. See if I can get a better camera angle, because those trees got in the way again. Exactly. We'll get them chopped down. Don't worry about that.
The rear definitely looked warped, didn't it?
Yeah, there it is.
Just a little glance.
Yeah, not too much, but enough to lose that lead that he clearly had. Now, will he elect to go? No, he doesn't. It's back to live pitches, so stays out with that damage.
In all that as well, Baba has got ahead of Frank.
Yes. You're absolutely right. Let's have a look at the overtake of that one while we're looking at the replay. Here it is. Oh, it's through the chase. Yes, it is. Confident. Entering in the first part of the chase, and you'll swing it over to the right, then you go underneath the Dunlop Bridge. I think it's a Dunlop Bridge all the way to Armour Oil now. And then crank it around the final corner. Yeah, job done. So Bubba's now in the lead of the race.
By the way, more news from the virtual paddock. Last week, we knew that Baba had a bit of an issue off the start, didn't he? And had to find his way back. It turns out that during that afternoon, he was at some kind of family gathering and had a drink or two. It came to light there was a Busan. Hear the scrape as he hit the wall there. Carries on, no harm, no foul. But yeah, apparently he was having a rather social afternoon before coming and racing, and still managed to race as well as he did.
Dutch courage.
Absolutely.
I mean, how about yourself, my friend, for your birthday celebrations last week? This time last week, right? So
it was. I cannot confirm nor deny that I might have had a beer or a couple before commentary last week.
That's perfectly fine. Here's the battle of Larson in the green machine, and I wonder if he's gonna think about doing it to the chase. You can see currently at the moment he will tuck in behind there. And that's now when you're going to go, right, my friend, I've got a lot of trust in the car ahead of me here to not make any mistakes when you get down to about 2/10 or at 1/10, you basically have to be synchronized, like, you know, that's your twin brother, and know exactly every single braking point they're going to do, otherwise, bang, you're colliding.
Bjorklund, your current lead AM, is in the front group. He's P4 presently, hanging on to the front three, so being towed along nicely. Ming has fallen back after his little incident, a second and a half back now. So if Bjorklund can just stick with the draft, just be close enough going over the mountain, yeah, he's in a wonderful position. Where is the next AM? That is Walters down in P9. So like we saw last week, a nice gap for him. And I do hope, and I say this sincerely, I'm not trying to put any curse on him, I do hope that he doesn't have the same issues that he did last week when he was running so well and then had those half spins.
Oh, yes. We're riding on board right now with our race leader, Baba, who has gained 2 positions in this race, so Baba's getting it job done. Is Baba, I mean, Frank now just being the overtaken and the Maxwell behind them, so they just, you think, happy to stay here and conserve a little bit of fuel? As you said before, they're really going to have to fully tank up the cars.
I would think that that Baba and Frank would be happy. I mean, let's be honest. No driver is happy coming second. But I think knowing that they have both qualified, you see Frank now with the slipstream. Is he going to make a move?
Yeah,
he is.
Right now.
Pulls to the inside. This kink is deceptive. It will fling you out to the outside. We see there, just cut the nose off of Baba, but
coming back.
Is he coming back? Baba is.
Oh
no, there is contact there. Turn back the right way. Who's that coming through? Bjorklund to the lead.
Bjorklund to the lead, exactly.
Wow.
Patience has
Baba's
paid
still
off,
fighting.
but Baba's going to still continue to bite this one as they make their way into the final corner here. This is great racing, wheel to wheel. We love it. There is bumping. They know, of course, there's championship playoffs up for stakes with some of the drivers. Most of them are through. However, you want to be through in the best possible position, and this will be obviously a sign of things to come for the grand finale, as you can see it making their way up Skyline. Look at this. Oh, you're going to have 3 abreast for sure, my friend.
Well,
right
yeah,
here.
Bjorklund sending it on Frank. Go on, Bjorklund. Oh, and Kika Ming's getting involved now as well with a late move. Frank getting hustled out of it.
They have to
Maxwell,
file in.
less than a tenth.
They have to file in here. There it is.
Oh.
I was going to say, there's no way. Absolutely no way you would have followed. Here we go. Let's ride on board. I kind of feel like we'd be best in Maxwell's eyes right now, isn't it? Because you would foresee something happening up the road like this with this racing, wouldn't you? As a race driver, Adam.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If I was Maxwell right now, I'd be sitting there. Admittedly, I'd be in 2 minds. On one front, I'd be like, right, let's get involved in this. They're making mistakes. Let's get a position or 2. on the other hand, I'll be thinking they're making mistakes. I don't want to get involved in that in case it ruins my race. So we'll see which side of the court he plays on with that one. Having seen Maxwell earlier in the season, he will be looking to make positions. No two ways about that. And of course he has to, because currently he is not qualified for the finals. So where is he in the ranking? He is driver number 8 in there. A couple of points behind Jack Ashton and 10 behind McCutchinson. 12 behind Ming. So yeah, he needs to take these places. As we see, he's now making a move on Frank. He is not hanging about.
Ah, there it is. Ooh, this is going to be tight going through here, guys. Allow enough space, they are. You know, you got your spotter in here going car left, car left, car left, car right, car right.
Oh, that is uncanny.
That's what, sorry,
Maxwell gets it. Sorry, no, I was going to say it's uncanny. You sound just like the guy on iRacing.
Jeez, I'd never even driven. I've just heard it sometimes when I watch people's replays and stuff back. Because, you know, you don't hear it up here in the casting booth.
This is true. This is true. So now that that's all kind of calmed down just a touch, although I wouldn't be surprised if Frank has a look up the inside here. Maxwell going defensive a little bit early on. We can see Ming going defensive further up the road as well. It means that Baba is... yeah, I know. It always looks like they're doing it far too late in these cars, doesn't it? Baba is leading 1.7 ahead of Ming. So that incident that he had with Frank clearly giving him no damage there. They were both very fortunate, it has to be said. Although Frank is now in P5, they're both still going, which is the important thing. But yeah, Baba, 1.6 up the road from Ming. Bjorklund, P3, still in there, isn't he? He's still hustling, still getting involved, and fair play to him for doing that. Maxwell is the man on the move, up to P4 now. Frank is the unfortunate soul who lost out in that, but as you said before, he's still running. What has happened to Bremer here?
Yeah, there's a couple of little moments that Bremer and a Guy Robertson as well have had made mistakes, which is they've come together, and that's definitely well, they fixed that quick.
It's got very strong magnets in the front of that car, isn't it?
I'm just trying to see. I'm not getting any race information about that come together before.
No.
Oh,
No.
that is strange, because clearly, I mean, there wasn't anybody spinning around, but obviously going off track of it. Anyway, further back, I'm trying to capture as much action as I possibly can out there for everybody tuning in. Thank you for tuning. Because that's what it's all about, and there are other drivers racing, no doubt, and that's going to be very, very crucial, of course, to their hopes and dreams of finding their way into the final championship. Ming now put it as the fastest lap in, but Baba's down the road. Now, what's happened to Bjorklund? Bjorklund must have been overtaken here, mate. I've missed it. Let's have a look.
No, Bjorklund was P3 last time by as well.
Oh, okay. No, I thought he was in P2. Anyway.
No, he, after going for the lead, I think he was overtaken by Baba and then forced out a little bit by Frank, wasn't he?
Yep, here it is, here. That's when he gets overtaken by Baba. During all this commotion.
That's right, Ming really flinging certain things outside of the car right there and going for it. It's brilliant driving from all of them to get through it in one piece. I'm just having a quick look at the AMs and see where we are with those drivers. Of course, we have 6 already qualified. Truby, Rolliston, Mellis are the drivers on the bubble. Mellis in P12 at the moment. Is he doing enough? He is, to consolidate that, because Davies is behind him. So nothing to report on that side of things at the moment. And in the pros, there we go, there's a flick over. Yeah, it's that fight between Buson, Bremer and Larson, really. Whoever finishes ahead of that 3 will be the guy in the green.
Yeah, and the green will be the ones that will be in the bubble playoffs currently. The green there is in the documentation that's in the. I'm sure it's in the Discord channel anyway. We weren't showing it up on screen, my friend, as green or not, even if you said you couldn't see the colours properly. We're just letting everybody know at the moment who they were, and we'll continue to do that. And you can see at the moment Larson that we are looking at with the camera, and as well as Mike Buson there, battling it out, as you said, for those crucial playoffs position.
They are Bremer, of course, who is 10th overall at the moment, who's also in that fight. He's currently last, having had some issues earlier on.
Yeah.
So at the moment, in this particular race, it is between...
He crashed too,
Busan.
so let's have a look at that. We saw that.
I think there was a couple that he's...
Yeah, that was the one where he unfortunately was involved in that one. Nowhere to go. Just had to see a car facing the wrong way, and that's, well, got to get that out of your mind and continue to drive, just like Mr. Barber has after that little incident that they had earlier when they were racing each other. Back up into that P1 position, and remember he had a little bit of a moment. Somehow has managed to recompromise himself and get back onto the 69 machine and back in to lead the race by 1.3 seconds over Ming, who did qualify the fastest and looked to be at some point almost running away with the race, right? But it was Big Ming that made a mistake too, because that mountain is punishing, remember? You get the best drivers in the world will make little errors here. Easy to do. You even blink while you're going down here right now. You're probably having a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the barrier.
I have to be honest, whenever I finish a race here, my eyes are like they ache because they've been on stalks the entire time. In fact, there's been times when I've raced around here and I don't even remember blinking. You are that wide-eyed trying to take everything in to make sure you don't have an incident.
These cars are faster than the Ferraris, right? The Evos. That or they just look faster because they're maybe lower down and because it's open cockpit. Because I know running the other series that we do here on the JP Broadcasting Network is they just didn't. They should be really looking at lap times. It just didn't seem as fast. Fastest man at the moment is being 158.6. I don't know. It's always that. It's like if you go around in something in a go-kart, it always feels fast too, doesn't it?
It does. I think that because they move around a lot when they go through corners, they look. They're bouncing. They're shifting. There's lots of adjustments going on. I think that adds to it. I'm with you. I'm not sure whether or not they are. Of course, the Evo is a GT3. We see Bjorklund there defensive. He does not want to give up this P3, does he? Going into the mountain.
No, he does not. Of course, it's crucial for him in the AM class.
Jürgen Frank, though, taking advantage of that, though. Maxwell going from offence to defence and then losing a position because Bjorklund just, and rightly so, does not want to give up this position. A P3 outright would be a phenomenal result for the AM driver. Yeah,
and currently at the moment, I thought this was resolved, so I do apologise about that. It shouldn't be highlighted. It's a very little highlighted orange that you can see for the driver that we're on, which is Bjorklund. And that you're kind of confusing. Go, hang on, he's not a pro class, he's an AM class. Because of course, if I switch away from him, it'll then come up the blue. So, apologies. I believe that was resolved, but then it's gone back to its old ways again. It just didn't accept the code. What?
I wonder if Bjorklund's going to be accepting the overtake here because Frank's lined him up, isn't he?
Let's see if Jürgen Frank can do it. Because Jürgen Frank can't do it. Luke Maxwell wants to as well. He's like, come on, mate, get on with it. You've had your chance. Give me a crack at Bjorklund. Here we go. They're all going to have a crack at him here, mate.
Into the chase. Maxwell, he just wasn't quite brave enough, was he? Wasn't quite brave enough under braking. Bjorklund managed to fend him off. Frank sees an opportunity here. Now just backs out himself. Scheider just behind them. The other SimRC solo driver, I believe. He's now onto the back of this little pack, and Bjorklund has just scurried a little bit up ahead, hasn't he? Almost half a second there.
He's got to feel like he's under attack from a gang of teammates here. You got two here, as you can see. There's Frank and his teammate behind him, Schneider, and then you got the Team Radline Yellow of Luke there. So it's just like a whole bunch of these yellow cars, and he's doing his best to defend. Look at it, goes straight into the middle. Says, all right, mate, go around the outside, of course, which is going to be difficult because it flicks over to the inside. And see, that's actually caused more than anything, hasn't it? Jürgen, to make a little bit of an error, almost scraped the wall. And look at that, Bjorklund's hucking the car everywhere to be defensive. And here you don't have to be so aggressive because good luck if you're going to find a way around here. It's all about the elbow, once again, it's all about the elbow. That's what I would be doing for Bjorklund. I'm like, okay, great. I'll survive the rest down the hill, down the dipper. And now I'm going to be thinking about my perfect exit out of the forest elbow. so that I'm hopefully got enough top end speed here to cover off this inevitable dooming attack that's right behind him. And if you're Jürgen Frank, look at that, you're tucked up on the gearbox as close as you can, because you know if you get a great exit out of Forest Elbow here right now, then you've got him. And I think that was a very good exit from both drivers, actually, but this is now that little bit of slipstream that Jürgen Frank's going to have now. Is he going to have enough? You know that Bjorklund's probably going to park it in the middle, which is he's doing, actually. He's gone a little bit off center here.
Maxwell had the double draft. Look at him on the right-hand side there. Wow, that's the problem. This is going to be, Bjorklund's going to be licking his lips at this, because every time one driver gets a run, the guy behind him is going to have an even better run. So, you know, what do they do? Do they go, like we just saw Frank there, does he continue trying to make the move? Or does he have to go defensive to try and fend off Maxwell, who came from behind? Almost touching them, weren't they, as they come across the line?
Look at that, 0.018 or something like that, I think it's just set on the timing interval.
Wow. That's it. That's incredibly close. And just to touch on your point, going over the mountain, at some tracks, you can slow up just a touch. When you're in the front of these groups, just to back the drivers up behind you a little bit, to make your exit onto the long straight a bit better. You can bolt and run. But here, you don't want to drive any less than 100%, because as soon as you try and take it easy, that's when the mountain will bite you.
Ah, very interesting from an experienced driver. Yep, as you can see, the gaggle of cars, they're still held up quite well there by Bjorklund. Doing his absolute best, the Norwegian. He's like, all right, guys, I got Viking blood in me. Try it. It's your best. It's true. All right, I'm not denying anything, and that's a compliment. They can conquer the Vikings. All right. That's because they conquered you, British. Sorry. Let's not bring up all the history.
Okay, everyone's conquered us at some point, mate.
Not the Scots, but mate.
Well, no, that's because we built a 4-foot tall wall. They couldn't figure out how to jump it.
All right. And then send all those convicts down to Australia. It's okay. You just saw the end there of Kyle. There, as you can't miss Kyle's car, of course. And they're having a lonely race right now up the road there. There's Bubba, so he's probably going, all right. Is there another car there? Yes, there is. There's Ming in his rear mirrors there. But then Ming's like, I can't see anybody else behind me. Where are they? And they're back here, Ming. And he's the first of that party.
Back, aren't they?
So now this is the point where you're chewing through your tires. Of course, I won't have to take tires, but you're burning through your gasoline. Frustration maybe creeping in a little bit. You know that as a race driver, mate, you've been stuck up behind a car for so long. Clearly, you feel that you're faster, and clearly, it seems like that with the slipstream. He might have a run right now. Because this is it. He's going to be on the racing line, and here I'm referring to as Jürgen Frank. And look at that once again now. Bjorklund's caught back up. So it seems to me, as soon as that Frank's come out and hit the air, all right, it's going to turn, swing it over to the left here, and then it's a single file. Yeah, it sees as soon as you cut that air, right, and you punch a hole in that air, he just drops all that speed, and Bjorklund still can maintain it. This is absolutely fantastic racing. You would not want to not look anywhere else right now. You keep your eyes glued to this battle. Sorry if there are other battles on track going on, because, you know, this is inevitably, hopefully, we'll continue with 7 minutes to go of battling like this, because it's fantastic racing.
It is fair to say this is the closest group on track at the moment. You can tell that from the timing tower, the orange colours there with the timing. Oh, Bjorklund gets a little bit squirrely there, doesn't he? The orange on the timing means they are less than half a second between them, and yellow means that they are just over half a second, and the rest are all white, so they're all spread out. This is the battle. Bjorklund now having to go defensive early, hugs it to the right-hand side as you go down the straight there. And yeah, you're right. Just as Frank pulls out, he just stalls out. I wonder if he has got a little bit of damage there. Bjorklund just able to keep running it, able to break that a little bit later as well.
Yeah, he has too, isn't it? You could see that. It's much more confident into the corners.
He is. And just behind them as well, Maxwell and Scheider did go side by side just for a moment. Maxwell,
Here we go again.
Did get past
this could be the opportunity. You can actually do a little bit of shoveling. Now on the racing line. They're going to go side by side. Bjork's on the racing lane. Coming up to Hell's Corner. It's called the Hell's Corner for a reason. Now, this is where your confidence, and there it is, isn't it? So that's when Jürgen finally had enough confidence to break a little bit earlier. And now look at this. Bjorkland's a sitting target. Just like that, he could potentially be losing 2 places, if not 3 here.
Frank was very
4 maybe.
very experienced there, shall we say.
He has lost
knew
another
he had
one.
the line.
What's wrong?
Oh, poor old Bjorkland, it's all going to pot at the moment.
He's going to
for
probably lose
him.
another one. I wonder. I don't see any damage or anything. I wonder if he's out of gas. Could he be?
No, not this far away from the finish. I was going to say that Frank was he made an experienced overtake there. He knew that he couldn't do him in slipstream, so when he did get alongside, just gave him a little bump, just nothing too aggressive, but just let him know that he was there, pushed him offline just a little bit, and that ruined all of Bjorkland's momentum, and as we saw, he got freight trained more or less at that point.
This is the replay of inevitably Bjorkland going back 3 places now. And that's where it starts. Defending here like mad, but there it is. There's a tap, isn't it? On the wall. Actually, that's not it.
No, I think it was Hell's Corner, where he just on the exit, he just leant on him just a little bit, ruined his momentum. A real experienced move.
Yeah, here.
We can,
this is where it starts. Yep.
Yeah, so he gets alongside now, and we can see Bjorkland has the.
I'll have to go
better...
back live. Apologies, because it's all boring up again. We'll go back to that.
Oh, no worries. Oh, we are. Scheider Busson's involved. Where has Busson come from? He was P8 last time I checked. Larson is now in P8. Bjorkland P7. This is really. We went from 4 cars, didn't we, with Frank and Maxwell involved. They've now scarpered off up the road a little bit. I mean, now with Scheider, Busson, Bjorkland, and Larson.
And that's crucial, isn't it? Because Busson and Larson are very close in the playoffs.
They are level on points as it stands.
So this one means it's going to go advantage to Busson, but let's have a look at off the road there. So these drivers are going for it tooth and nail. Here's Maxwell.
Scheider's not going to get it done around the outside there.
Come on, guys, get to abreast. Through the depot, down the depot. I want to see it.
You were telling them to go single file earlier.
That's like seeing 2 cars go side by side through the castle section in Baku. But it can be done. I've actually seen it, believe it or not, in a esports Formula 1 race. Well, when I was casting one time, just so that because it's just to quickly elaborate, it's 7 meters wide. Our Formula 1 car is 2 meters wide, so theoretically you can fit 3 and a bit.
You could. Oh, imagine.
But
that.
not at that speed. But yeah, I did see it actually. I did see it. They crashed. Not in the middle of the castle section, but just coming out of it a little bit as they pan up the hill. But they did get through side by side, so I had to prove myself. Now I'm going to see if it can be done here as well in Bathurst. But for now, this is the situation, mate. With about 2 minutes change to go, Bab is comfortably leading this one from Kaiki Ming, and then Jürgen Frank has got that bit of a lonely race, and then Maxwell now has this party all behind him. He has to hold off here to secure himself. Luke Maxwell will be securing himself on a playoff spot in the finals. It's already through. No.
He will.
Yeah.
He is currently 8th in the playoffs at the moment, but this haul of points, Jack Ashton not being here, McHutchinson also not being here. Kika Ming's going to score well, but he's a fair way up the board as it stands anyway. So Maxwell's going to jump at least 2 positions with this result where he is right now.
I have to pan out how that's going to work in the drop weeks, isn't it? Because this is the 1 week you don't want to be missing.
I mean, I'm just doing napkin mathematics here, so I'm not going anywhere near drop weeks. That's beyond my capabilities.
Well, the information that we had that was recently that we were sharing during the broadcast with those points positions were basing off the drop weeks, but of course this one will have to be calculated with drop weeks that play too. So to find all the information out, you need to go to the Discord channel for the Radical series. We have the Americas up a little bit later on, the American time zone in the evening, so depending on where you are in the world and what time you could race, there's 2 different types of league races here at Radicals you can do to cover 2 major time zones around the world. And spoiler alert, if anybody hasn't watched the Women's World Cup final, but sorry, UK, you didn't quite get it. But at least you got into the finals, better than the men's team. All right.
I'm just having a look to see where the leaders are right now. We've got 40 seconds left of this race, and Baba is going down Conrad at the moment. 30 seconds to go, should make it. So this will be the penultimate lap, unless he decides to slam the anchors on and crawl it across the line and finish the race on this one. Very
careful doing that too much, wouldn't you? You can get a slowdown. Can't you?
I know in qualifying it can be a little bit harsh on that.
15 seconds, he'll get another lap.
Here we go, then final lap of the race just started.
Yep. That'll actually be beneficial for this lot to give it one more shot.
It would. Now 5 in the train. Bjorklund still scrapping away. He's been right at it. Gets up the inside there of Buson. Buson having a little bit of a wide run there. Bjorklund up the inside into turn 1. Aggressively and forcefully, but takes position. That puts Buson and Larson, the guys that we were talking about not so long ago in the playoff scrap, right next to each other. Buson, I don't know, an overrun there. Lots of overspeed on Bjorklund. Bjorklund not fighting that one like he did earlier on. Just filters in behind as they go over the mountain for the very last time.
Yeah, I'm just really curious. What happened to Bjorklund? Because I mean, have to defend for so long, so well, isn't it? And he parked the car in all the right places. He had to really focus on the difficult part, of course, is focusing on making your way in through the mountain without fitting it into the fence, and then on top of it, having a mirror full of all these orange machines that were behind him. Well, the yellow machines, my apologies. Team Radline, of course, and Sim RC. And
well, let's not forget,
so well, and then just that little error, isn't it, in Hill's corner?
I wouldn't put that on him. That he was manoeuvred into that position by a very experienced driver. So I wouldn't put that on him. But what it has meant is that his valiant defending. It's kind of all come for nothing. Oh,
big lock up there.
Buson scraping that inside. That gives Bjorklund the run.
Yeah.
Bjorklund can still grab P6 here. The P4 and 5 Scheider and
We'll have to go back to that, see how they pan across the line, because we know one man's going to be panning across the line first. It'll be the Belgian driver of Mr. Bubba. Takes it to Australia, takes it to Bathurst, and wins the Radical European race.
Brilliant driving from Baba there, wasn't it? Ming looked so full of potential at the start of the race. Scheider and Maxwell side by side coming into the last corner. The up and under from Scheider. Is he going to get it done? Yes, he has. Claims P4. Brilliant move there to take P4 from Maxwell, who finished P5. Larson and Buson finishing that order. Bjorklund, the driver of the day, it has to be said, despite finishing P8 in the end. Wonderful driving, wins the AM category. Gonzaga comes across the line to claim P2, and then we got a little bit of a wait for the rest of the AMs to come across. Here we go. Gregory just pokes his head around the corner, crosses the line for P3 in the AMs.
What a race. Bathurst always produces, and this is the second time this week that I've done Bathurst. It's the second time that we didn't have a big pile up in the mountain, and I think that's very, very impressive from these drivers. And I did that just a couple of little moments, but no, absolutely. I was just talking about traffic jam, car park. Drivers did an amazing job. All racing, wheel-to-wheel racing, as you saw, really good. Like you didn't have drivers spinning around and going off tracks and completely crashing out, mate. They just have a little taps, little elbows out. That's called the motor race, as Mikey would say.
It's very true. Yeah, let's be brutally honest. Just finishing at Bathurst is an achievement in its own right.
Yeah.
So the fact that we only had one retiree of Bremer who was involved in an incident that wasn't his fault. It's the confines of the track, isn't it? You have these walls, they're blind corners, and although you can see yellow flags being waved, you don't always know where the car is, and he fell foul of that as Walters crosses the line, and that is everyone.
I'll give you the final results. I believe we've got some information about saying this one could also be a drop week. So there you have it. All right. Race results from Bathurst for you to go over, my friend.
Here we go then. Erin Baba, a bit of a lonely race in the second half there, but he takes the win over Kika Ming and Jürgen Frank. He rounds out your podium. Scheider, Maxwell, Larson, and Buson. They are 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Then your AM winner, Commander Bjorkland. What a drive from him, with George Gonzaga and Craig Gregory rounding out your AM podium. Then 11th we had De Graaf. 12th was Mellis. 13th was Robertson. 14th Haig, and 15th David Walters. What a wonderful, wonderful race that was.
Absolutely, always fantastic racing, and you love the mountain. See if we get anybody for an interview real quick. We'll go back and have a look at the race start while we're waiting, because it was a cracker. Everything happened so quickly, so we'll have a look at the race start and just have a look from a chopper's perspective and how everybody got their launch away.
Oh, lots of wheel spin there from Ming. You can see that, but he made it work though, didn't he? Got the second phase. Got the momentum, which meant Frank didn't really have a run at it.
Yeah, Jürgen Frank was at this point P3. There's Baba in the lead. That was Ming, of course, that was in the second place. So first place. What's it showing here in the first? Oh, no, that's because we're going off the official positions, of course. There we go. So I'm all over the place. We do have Jürgen Franken. If you want to see if you can bring him in, my friend, to the room.
Can I do it? Can I do it? I can do it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here he is, Jürgen Frank. Jürgen, what a race. Talk us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, hello. That was very spectacular. Yeah. I think I needed P3 for the championship, if I'm correct. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me.
I don't know the championship ramifications at this point because there are drop rounds to be involved. So we were looking at who was qualifying for the finals and who wasn't. We had that information, but at this point I can't say that you needed P3.
Yeah, at least that's what I calculated. I might be wrong. And yeah, the race itself, yeah, I wanted to battle with Errant, beginning to get a gap from P4 or something. Then, yeah, I wanted to go the 2 wide into the last chicane. But yeah, he clipped the curb in the inside, and then he touched me on the left rear corner, so I spun, and yeah, with that crash there, my top speed was completely gone, and I was a sitting duck on the straight. I lost 4 to 5 tenths on one straight, and
Wow.
yeah, I was fighting like a lion then to take P3 somehow.
We were speculating that your speed was down because you were struggling to get past Bjorkland. He always seemed to have that speed on you.
Yeah,
A replay. Oh, this is at the very end when you're doing the jump. There it is. Whee!
You said you would as well. You said you'd do it.
Yeah, the jump is a must on the track after the race.
Talk us through the move on Bjorkland. At the time, I called it as an experienced move. You seemed to encourage him to the outside of the track so he would lose his momentum. Is that what you had in mind?
I just remember I put on a lot of pressure, and then it was the second right-hand corner onto the mountain where he touched the wall on the left side. Then he had damage, and yeah, actually I don't know anymore where I overtook him.
It was turn 1 was when you finally got the job done. But we're seeing we're seeing the replays now of the touch with Baba. Very unfortunate, but what a race it set up though. The pressure, the 5 of you, the 4 of you for a majority of the race. It was nip and tuck, and it was anyone's game for most of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great driving from almost everybody, and yeah, a big fight. Especially when I wanted to get P3 for the championship. I'm pretty sure.
I think we're getting some notes like Frank should have won the championship. Should have. I got on that one. So there you go, my friend. You may be world champion.
We have it confirmed, but not quite confirmed.
I should have mentioned twice. So yeah, is that like a negative? 2 negatives equal a positive, maybe? Should have.
Just have a glass of champagne tonight,
Yeah.
just in case. Save the rest of the bottle for when it's actually confirmed.
That sounds like a good plan. Yeah.
Jürgen, it was brilliant watching you yet again. Like you never fail to not entertain us. We are always in awe at your driving. Is there anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah. Well, maybe today was too much of entertainment, but I expected a more enjoyable race. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. And yeah, shout out to my teammate. He built a great wall behind me in the end. Maximilian Schieder. Good job. Next beer is on me.
Oh, it's Schieder. I've been calling him Scheider all season. Yeah. It's Schieder. Why did no one tell me this? Jürgen, pleasure as always. Thank you for coming and speaking to us. Oh, hang on. We've news just in. Can confirm you are the championship winner, sir. You have won the championship. Congratulations. You can enjoy the whole bottle.
Yeah. Now I will do this, yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations. So, I mean, in order to be doing the World Championship, because you're in the European division of the Radicals, it means you have to then go over to the Americas one and win that one too, to win both of them to become the world champion, right?
Oh, I think the race times we have to talk about.
I know, it's fine. But but you are still the world champion, of course, amongst all the other drivers internationally that are racing a few here. So thank you very much, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks to you guys for the great commentating. See ya.
Oh, thank you. Jürgen Frank, your championship winner. Amazing stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly. What championship winner? Now I think we could talk to the Bathurst conqueror.
We can. Your
Bathurst first conqueror, the number 1 conqueror of Bathurst today.
King of the hill, is that what they call it?
Yes.
King of the mountain?
King of the mountain. Yep, you've conquered the mountain, my friend.
And the wrecker of the mountain, maybe.
For everybody else, how was your race?
Hi, guys. The race was good. Only the setup was a little bit different with 50 liters. I did some officials, but the car is totally different on this setup. They just added 5 liters more, so it's a little bit of adapting, but it's okay. On the crash with Jürgen, I really didn't want to do that, but the curb on the inside pushed me a little bit wider than I would have wanted. I just wanted to go side by side there to get the group together. So anyway, at the end of the day, even if the points did matter, I would just give the points to Jürgen. So it was all on me.
Yeah, we're just looking at slow motion replay of that one, exactly as you mentioned, my friend. So it just looks like,
just going to say, from
a
driver's point of view, it's very easily done because it's so fast through there, isn't it? You have to be so precise, both you on the inside and Jürgen on the outside, to make it work.
Yes, of course. But the little curb pushed me a little bit more on the right, and then we had a touch, and I was braking, so. There was a moment where I saw Jürgen turn the car like 180 degrees, so I just pushed him a little bit more so he could gain the rotation back to come on track. So I was watching the relative to see if he had a drivable car, and then luckily he did. So it's all okay.
Awesome stuff. And from there on in, it was pretty much plain sailing, wasn't it? Just head down and try not to bin it on the mountain.
Yeah, I know I have the pace. I just don't push too much with this car on the opening laps, because the problem is if you push too much on the opening laps, let's say like the first 7 laps, you get a problem with the tires. So I always take it easy on the first part of the race, and then on the second part I pushed a little bit more to get the fastest lap, and then it was pretty much a boring race because I was alone. I would have wanted to fight with Jürgen. The points don't matter, just the racing, it's more important for me, but maybe we'll see, maybe in the future.
I mean, you could make it less boring and just slow down so everyone could catch up.
Yeah, but the problem is then some other guys maybe would join the fight, and then it will end up in tears into the wall. So yeah.
I have one final question for you,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
not related to this race.
Yes.
I heard a rumor that last week,
Yeah.
you came and you raced after a rather merry social event where beers were involved. Can you confirm or deny
Yes. Yes. I can confirm. Yes, I can confirm.
that?
I was, how they say it, I was like toasted. uh, so, but the thing is, I race these things in real life. So the sim racing is just for fun, you know. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you race it for real. But on the sim, yeah. Also on Sebring, I just came home from vacation. I just landed on Brussels airport. We came home without even taking a shower. I just hopped in the race on Sebring without any practice whatsoever, just to have some fun, you know.
Oh, wow.
There's some dedication for you.
We didn't
Yeah,
know.
and
you
then I
did.
ran out of fuel.
Well, that's that. Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's a son of a true race driver, isn't it? Just like
Yes,
Max Verstappen and stuff like that, isn't it? As soon as he gets out of Formula 1 car, he's straight into a racing sim and stuff like that too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I wanted to do the race, so I was luckily on time for the practice, like 5 minutes earlier, and then I saw the practice session, so I jumped in, and it was okay. I mean, I didn't win that race. I had no pace whatsoever, with like 2 weeks vacation, but whatever is part of the. I wanted to race, so yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome stuff.
Anybody you would like to shout out, mate?
You guys, everyone in the Radical community, and also Jürgen tonight did a great job with the damaged car. I would have wanted to fight a little bit more, but we'll see in the future. Maybe we do some races together, so it's okay. I'm really happy that he got the championship. Also, I don't really know the points, so it doesn't matter. It just that he got P3. It was enough. It's good fun. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. Erin, thank you for coming and chatting to us again. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
And congrats on your win tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. Bye.
Yeah, and that's it. Absolutely, from everybody here at the family of JP Broadcasting, and of course myself, Dean Biggles, and Adam Hedgecock. That'll be it from us tonight. And these drivers, of course, the championship officially has been confirmed that Mr. Jürgen Frank has won it. And he will be, hopefully, they're celebrating. But we've still got more motor racing to go, of course, and you've still got to watch the Americas version of this later on, or if when you wake up, or watch it live, depending on how you want. So, any final words there before we let everybody depart, Adam?
Another week, another fantastic race. It's been enthralling, amazing, breathtaking at times. Absolute pleasure to be a part of it. So yeah, roll on the next one is what I say. Look forward to it, and look forward to joining you in the box again and seeing everyone else watching alongside us.